Hello, it's Eddie G's Music World. I have not had anything to say in a couple of months, probably. And currently, I figured it's time to chime in with everyone and talk about some things that are going on with music. Now, of course, the main thing is that we are discussing Ozzy's passing. Ozzy Osbourne has passed, and the thing with him, it was just amazing how when he was pretty young, 17, whatever, 18, I'm not sure of the exact year, he broke into some store or business and he tried to steal stuff. But what he did was he went through the ceiling and I think he dropped into the ground and he had gloves with like the fingers exposed. So he could, unfortunately for him, there were fingerprints left. And one thing led to another. The man got caught. So I don't know, a bit of a mischief back then. And from that point, there was a time where he was, he knew Tony Iommi and maybe even Geezer Butler a bit from being in Birmingham, England. And what happened was, I think they were forming Black Sabbath, and Ozzy, he contacted those guys, Geezer Butler and I think Tony Iommi, and he says, "I want to be in the band." And then they said, "What is it about you? You don't have a musical ability, do you?" Like whatever, they knew who he was, but they didn't think he had a musical ability. And he says, "I know, but my dad's got a good PA system, and I'll bring that to the band." And the rest of the guys didn't really have a lot going on, so they figured, well, they could use the PA system. And then he ended up being in the band after that, obviously. And time went on, and they got ripped off by a manager. They started to get popular. Now, I haven't researched this too much, but I think Sharon's father was a manager. It might have been, I'm not sure if they were the Black Sabbath manager or not, but uh, there's some connection between Sharon Osbourne and her dad. So then from there, Black Sabbath, well, people of the members of the group said stuff about being ripped off. So I don't remember who is the one that who was ripping them off. Was it Sharon's father or some other manager? I don't know for sure. But one thing led to another. The band caught fire gradually and had great songs like Paranoid and well, you know who they are. I mean, Iron Man, about this crazy, creepy guy running around, and I could relate to it because kind of an outcast type of guy myself. And well, the story of Iron Man's, I don't think it was meant to be about a wacky, crazy guy that roamed around, but that's how I interpreted it, and I'm the fan. So from there, obviously, this is not an official, detailed list of what was his life. It's just a summary of some of the highlights that I think are worth mentioning. How about this? I'll get a little bit closer. There we go, as usual. Okay. From then, Black Sabbath, they were around for a while. He did get fired because of excessive drug use, maybe alcohol, maybe something else too. So from there, he was on his own. Not sure about the finances, how well he was doing or not, but Sharon ended up meeting him, and from there they formed a business relationship and a personal relationship. And Sharon, from that point, managed Ozzy and obviously did an amazing job since throughout that 43 years or so of managing him and running his business affairs. She made him a lot of money. She made him very famous. Of course, the bad incident of the 1980s. that catapulted him into the limelight, because bad news is sometimes something that can help get major publicity. When that happened, I knew who Ozzy was, of course, but then all of a sudden, the fact that he bit the head off a dead bat and he didn't think it was a real bat, whatever, getting the rabies and everything, it catapulted him very big into the spotlight. And then from there, I did see him about 1984, at the old Forum of Montreal, which is no longer an arena. It's a movie theater. And then I saw him with the Black Sabbath reunion tour, 2014. So 40 years later. And for that one, Bill Ward was the only one that wasn't there from the original band. He apparently wanted to be compensated more than they were willing to compensate him. When I say they, I say whoever controlled the finances at that time, whether it was Sharon or some other the record company or somebody tour managing or whatever. He wasn't getting what he wanted, so he didn't join. And I think it was the Rage Against the Machine drummer. He was great, so I enjoyed that concert. Then I also saw Black Sabbath with Ronnie James Dio. So that was the Heaven and Hell tour in Bell Center, Montreal. I think that was 2007. So, of course, this brings us to many other, the TV show. I mean, I'm not telling most people anything they don't know. It's just a little discussion. And then, of course, upon his death, we are left with the I don't know. Here's the thing. It's always the sadness about his death. R.I.P. It's like, I'm one of them. It's a big deal that he passed. Yeah, sure. He did everything. But it's a big deal when he passed. But if 20 starving children passed in the last 7 minutes, there's nobody going to give a speech about those people. They're not going to end up getting much help. They're just going to have a difficult life, and no one will know. No one will really care that they died. But Ozzy, of course, because he was who he was, a big star, he gets the attention, and he deserved it. He played harmonica. There were some stories that he didn't really play guitar. He didn't really play much. Here, I'm just gonna send this out to my dozens of followers, and then from there we'll go on. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's keep talking for a little more. Of course, going back 2-3 weeks before, he had that reunion with Black Sabbath where he was not well and Parkinson's, and then passed. I think it was 10 days, 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure. I even I sent a letter to the Montreal Gazette, to my local paper, saying that in 1980 or 81, when Crazy Train came out, I was a big fan of Billboard. I still look at it, and it went to number 106, which is bubbling under the top 100. And then, the letters say, and then I see the Billboard charts from a week ago. 2 Black Sabbath albums, I think, are back on the charts. One of the greatest hits from Ozzy rose all the way to the top 10, and Crazy Train was at number 46 on the top 100 now. So I said it's funny how when he had Crazy Train out, the metal fans were all over it, but the top 40 rejected it because it was too out there, too heavy metal, too intense maybe. And then upon his death, he got the hit that he didn't get when he was alive. So they obviously felt that was worth printing in their paper. So I'm appreciative to get that done. So that is mostly what I have to say. There's always going to be another celebrity death. There's always going to be more stories. I'm still here to tell them. So it's Eddie G's Music World, August 4th, 2025, with the Ozzy discussion. Thank you very much. See you next time.